Hey everybody, welcome to this video on a game called Snow, or Snow the Game, I suppose. This is a snow skiing, boarding simulator thing, and effectively what it's trying to do is just be the modern equivalent of those classic skiing games and snowboarding games you'd see on old consoles. And the thing is, we haven't really seen a pretty good, or at least relatively popular snowboarding game for a while. And this hopes to kind of be that, or at least I think that's what it's trying to be. So this game is on Steam Early Access. It was first launched in, I think, early October of last year. And let me be clear before I even get started. This game, even like 6 months later or more, is barely in alpha. It's just, if there was a word for that besides pre-alpha or barely alpha, that would be it. So I had already recorded a video, but I felt like I was being really too mean on it. So let me go ahead and summarize. I don't think this game really is even progressed enough to even be on early access, in my opinion. Now, early access, is open-ended, but I think there isn't yet even enough in this game to even be on Steam Early Access. So, first of all, there is solo play, as there should be. You can play multiplayer, which I don't know why they just didn't do single or multi. There are achievements so far. There's like 3 achievements, something like collecting Christmas trees or seeing a troll, which I think is from like Ski Free or something. There is a store, which will be part of microtransactions, because this game is going to be free to play. I guess it depends how you understand what they were saying. They said sometime next year. I don't know if they meant as in 2014 or 2015, because it depends on which post you read. And then we have some options. Now, you will notice there's no sound besides my voice, and that's because audio hasn't even been implemented yet. So very, 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 very alpha. Secondly, there's no controller customization. Very, 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 very alpha. And if we go look at visuals, we have very high graphics quality, resolution, a display mode, vertical sync, and head-mounted display. I don't have a HMD, or else I would mess with that. The other thing I don't like with this type of layout is there is no, this is the maximum quality, yet there's still an arrow. But if there is an arrow, it should mean I can still cycle through. So if I can't cycle through, please remove the arrow, because then I know it's the maximum. Same thing with full screen, which it's only 2 options. Hopefully they would have, borderless eventually, but it seems kind of strange. And there's no visual indicator that I can go back. I would like to know if there's, a key for it. Gameplay. That's it. Now let's talk about the store. You can customize your character. I'm using a controller if you couldn't figure out. And this is my character, Total Smile Biscuit, Total Space Biscuit. And so the controls are really sometimes strange. So you can do, that looks pretty good. Oh, I gotta go with that. So there are real world brands in this game, apparently. I'm not a snowboarder. I am from Florida. So, oh my god. Oh my god. That's perfect. Perfect for me too. And let's see here. So real world stuff, really nice high quality models and textures, really impressive. My problem with that is the fact that the game barely works, yet they put in what seems like a lot of time and a lot of work to get the models looking good. So I can't change the area with my controller. I have to go over to my keyboard and cycle through it. I think the first mountain was the Cialia mountain range thing, but they recently, for the Olympics, they came up with Fochi, or the fake Sochi. So for the purposes of just playing around, I'm going to go with this, go over to play, and then we will check it out. This is a huge map. It's absolutely massive compared to the Fochi. So this will give me a good chance to talk about stuff. So let's find a really high area. So I specifically left out audio for a good reason, because in my reviews I talk about things like oh, that was a mistake. I talk about things like this is a finished game, so no excuses or whatever. But this game, is this game is going to be on early access. Or sorry. It's very difficult to play while thinking. This game is on early access, and it's going to change. Let's see if I can... Oh! Well, it was worth it. It's on early access. It's going to change. So, this is what the game is like as I'm playing it. If you come back to this video and you have audio in the game and the controls are much better and the menus are much better, you can see kind of where things came from. So the game is going to be a free-to-play game, and it's going to be supported by microtransactions through the store. And even though it's on early access, and one of my first thoughts was obviously this game is going to be paid for. It's on early access. You can pay money for it. But actually, they set up that system. Let's see if I can go through this for us. They set up that system so that people can support it and get benefits like, exclusive items or just, a booster pack kind of thing. Whoa. Almost. So there are tricks in the game. So I think the starter pack is like $15 and it goes all the way up to $60, which is, it's a lot of money. So the game has a huge amount of glitches, tons of missing content. The graphics sometimes don't work, even though they look really good. And I think I would be perfectly happy if the game looked this good on release, because I think visually it looks really nice. The worlds are huge in the game, and while they could probably use a little bit more detail instead of just tons of trees, I think the visual style is very pleasant. The snow looks fluffy, at least. SSAO is pretty good. The sound effects are nice. They do kind of a bit of surprising amount of post-processing, like there's chromatic aberration in the game, which I think is just an excuse because they're using CryEngine. But the thing is, one of the weak parts visually is the animations and kind of how the controls work with the animations. Also, I should probably just go... Let's go back up here. So let me brake using B, and no. Okay. The thing is, when you're shoving off, you can. Okay, let's brake again. So let me go this way. So you have to wait for the animation to finish for it to actually count it as a shove off. So you can't just go like this. You know what I mean? The animation has to finish. And some of the animations of the game are a little bit confusing due to that fact. So I would like to see probably an improved animation system with the way... Oh, that's awesome. Okay. No! Oh, I landed it. Okay. Ragdoll effects are pretty funny, but they do glitch out a lot. So... One of the points, let me just get this out of the way. I am horrible at speaking live when playing games and trying to come up with an interesting, point or criticism. So the game has very little in it, and I made this point before, but I'm curious why they seem to put so much time into putting new items in when there isn't much to do. I think one of the major things they need to work on immediately. Okay, I don't know how that worked. One of the things they need to work on immediately is definitely the audio, because it's so dead. Now, granted, audio can be somewhat of an expensive affair if you're going to be doing really high audio stuff, but at least add in music, some ambient stuff, just to kill the deadness, because what they effectively say in the files is just play your own music if it's too quiet for you. And I find that kind of funny. Probably my final kind of thought on this game is the fact that The game's been out 6 months, and I'm not entirely sure. I mean, you can check the change logs and such, but they added the new menu, which doesn't really work. They didn't add any audio, but they definitely added more items, apparently, from what I understand of the change log. So I'm just curious how they're going to hit those particular launch dates when there's so little of the game already. Again, it's super pre-alpha, but also I don't think it's in a state that, should be on Steam. Maybe that I'm just a little bit idealistic, but the game, seems like it's something they could have put together on their own time. That's just my opinion on it so far. What seems like most of their time has been spent on is items. If you can always do items when you need them, but right now the game just needs feedback and work on making it a better game, not a better, clothing simulator 2012. So I guess that's about it. I do not make this game look very flattering. I guess it's probably one of my final points. But there's not much in the game. And again, to repeat myself probably for the 1000th time, yes, it's extremely early and there's not much in the game. But I don't know, I feel like there should be way more in this game before it goes on early access. Because right now, I don't know, it looks like a mod that somebody put together. Oh, I got a slide, I think. So, alright. See you later.